Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the SIMRIGS V8 Veterans Split 2 action, Season 28, Round 8, as we come in to the home of horsepower, Sandown International Raceway. 250 Ks, 81 laps to half 500 on offer for you as the endurance portion of the season begins. And as we look ahead to the final few rounds of this championship, it is shaping up to now be a possible 3-horse race, depending on the time that a certain driver can put into it. It looks to be that 3 drivers could contest for this championship come the end of the season. Stuart Hall, Mick Clifton, they've been the story of the last few weeks, but the one that started out the season as the story, Stephen Kokoschke, returns to circuit tonight, here to Sandown in Springvale, Victoria, in the hopes that he could maybe salvage a season if he can put the proper time into the end of this championship. He cannot miss a round though. He misses a round at Adelaide or come Bathurst at the end of the season. It's over for him, unfortunately for him. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brett Fisher once again. And Brett, it's great to have you back after a week away. It was great to have David Haynes in the booth last week out at Oran Park.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David. We come to Sandown tonight for the beginning of the endurance portion of our season. 3 races, 2 of which 250 Ks tonight at Sandown for 81 laps. Next week at Adelaide for 78, and then the 300 kilometre finale, the retro round to end it all at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. It was started at Bathurst, it'll end at Bathurst, and this time it will end with 300 kilometres around Mount Panorama. Brett, it's great to be back here with you. We come into Sandown after a possible rain-affected race we were going to have earlier in the season at Phillip Island. The rain held off on that day. We're coming into Sandown tonight, and the radar is saying rain is on the horizon. It is moving in from the east. It's coming in from the peninsula sort of area towards Springvale, and rain is looking to be on the horizon here tonight, and it's looking to be that we're going to have first third of this race is going to be in the dry. The second and third of this race looks to be it's going to be wet conditions.
Melbourne weather.
Exactly right.
Unbelievable. 4 seasons, 1 day. I tell you now, the amount of times that when I was living in Melbourne, the amount of times I went to Sandown Raceway and there was rain at Sandown. Yeah, a lot of the time. But what is Sandown going to throw at us tonight?
Well,
let's wait and see.
That's exactly right. That's what we're waiting to find out across tonight's race, of course. And what we've seen over the last few weeks has really been a dominance for Stuart Hall, off the back of Stephen Kokoschke announcing him stepping away from Vets for the rest of this season. Prior to tonight, Stuart Hall has been the man on fire. 2 wins in the last 2 rounds from him now puts him atop the championship standings on 899 points. 15 points separates him and Kokoschke, and then it is 22 points back to Mick Clifton in P3 at this stage. Scott McKenzie's a further 44 points back, with Chad Weiger, Simon Hedesheed, Paul Burns, Andrew Galley, and Darryl Callaghan ahead of Roy Clark, making up our top 10 to this age. As I said, though, mathematically speaking, it's a 3-horse race at the moment. Mick Clifton, Stephen Kokoschke, Stuart Hall. Positive performance tonight for one of them is going to be one to keep an eye on.
Are you saying it's a 3-horse race because there's Sandown, there's a horse track in the middle?
No, it just so happens to be a coincidence that I stated that at Sandown.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I was just thinking.
The one thing we do know is, though, so for Mick Clifton, he just needs to, this in the next 2 weeks, Brett, in the next 2 weeks, tonight, next week in Adelaide, the one thing he needs to do is finish above 7th place. Finishes below 7th place, that will be a drop round for him. 7th is his next worst points winning position this season. So he's sitting in pretty good stead. For Hall, he doesn't really have a buffer or a backdrop. He has to finish well in the next few rounds. Namely, tonight and next week, he needs to try and finish above 7th place to hang on to the championship leading into the final round at Bathurst.
Who was that? Hall?
Hall has to finish above 7th either tonight or next week to really hammer. He needs to finish around that point pretty much, just to try and hold off. Just to try and hold off on Clifton's current next worst. For Kokoschke,
did you miss me interrupting you all the time?
No, it's a lovely, lovely occurrence to have you here discussing once again, Brett. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me once again.
So professional and
for Kokoschki though, again, he in the similar boat to Hall, he doesn't really have a back foot. In fact, he has no back foot. The last 2 rounds are his 2 drop rounds of zeros. He has to perform. One poor performance across the next 2 weeks will ruin his season. For Hall, he's got to perform, try and finish around the top 10. For Clifton, he's got to try and finish ahead of Hall and around the top 10 as well. He's got points to gain. Hall at the moment sits strong and sits with the momentum. We'll see who can carry it throughout this race. We put the question out to you in the chat. Can Hall win a 3rd race in a row this season? He has been on absolute fire. After 9 votes, it's a 56 to 44 vote. So really, it's a 5 to 4. 5 people said yes, 4 people said no. Time will tell here tonight if he is going to win that 3rd race in a row this season. Looking at where we are here tonight, as we said, Sandown Motor Raceway, 250 k's, 81 laps for the 8th round of the season is beginning the endurance portion of our championship. To roll on into Sandown and to find where we are tonight, of course, Springvale, Victoria. It is the 3rd and final time that we visit the state of Victoria this season, after previously being here for Phillip Island and for Winton as well. We've got one more trip to South Australia to make and one more trip to New South Wales to make as well for the rest of this season. We spring our way on down, around about an hour away from my front door, if we find Sandown International Raceway. It's had a couple of track changes over the years, but this has been the layout that's been used ever since 1984. It's actually old enough to race in vets. It's 42 years old is this layout. So it could race in vets if it wanted to. 3.1 Ks, 1.9 miles in the old language, 13 turns around here. Although we don't often at times count turn 13, we may often count it only as 12. Down the main straight up towards turn number 1, where it's going to be carnage early in this race and drivers are going to have to be careful. Then the run up through 2 and 3, where side-by-side action is often at times quite audacious for drivers to attempt, but can often be tricky to actually get correct. Then in through turn 4 and down the back stretch we go past the housing estate to the right hand side to the kink of turn 5 up towards the Princess Highway for Dandenong Road, which comes down through the S's at turn 6 and into turn 7 and 8 and to Dandenong Road corner at turn 9, which hugs the inside lane of the Princess Highway. Then up through turn 10 into the braking zone of turn 11 and 12. And then finish it off at turn 13. The pass opportunities tonight, well, there are actually quite a few of them. If you can run through turn 1, 2 and 3, you can finish it off at turn 4. You can obviously set yourself up for a move down at turn 9 for Dandenong Road, and as well the run around turn 11 and 12 and 13. Plenty of opportunity for passing. It is a short track, though. It is a short lap. And you've got to try and get it done and dusted as quickly as possible. Pit entry tonight, that's going to be a crucial one. It's going to be tough. We've seen black flags get handed out previously for drivers getting punted into pit lane. And it's one that you've got to be cautious of. Pit exit as well. You've got to be careful of how you filter into the traffic, and the traffic's going to be careful of cars coming out of pit lane, because it's one that comes out right on the racing line, and one that drivers will have to be very, very cautious of. It is a world-renowned circuit, one at risk of getting closed and turned into housing in future years. We're hoping it doesn't, because it is a great place to go and watch motorsport. State Series racing comes here, of course, as well as the Supercar Series as well. If you've never been to Sandown and you are of an opportune living arrangement, or you have an opportunity to come here anyway, I implore you to come to Sandown. It is an incredible venue. Come and experience it. It's fantastic, because you never know when they may close it down and you can no longer come to this circuit. So you want to be careful about that as well. Brett,
yo,
qualifying is about to finish up for those drivers out there, and the warm-up session is about to get underway as well, as we prep ourselves for what is to come here this evening out at Sandown. See, it is a lovely place to go racing as cars will come out of pit lane for the warm-up session. We'll get ready for you for your starting grid for tonight's 250k race, and 2 weeks away doesn't do anything to Stephen Kokoschki's qualifying pace. He's put it back on pole on his return. He'll start alongside the Kiwi Simon Hedesheed on the front row of the grid for an all-Mustang front row here tonight. To row 2, we then find Dave Arney starting alongside Christopher Blanchard for our top 4 this evening. To row 3, we then find Paul Burns starting alongside Joe Mahoney in a great qualifying for the third row of the grid. That's a great qualifying for Joe. Really, really well done. Row 4, and behind me find Abel Verben starting alongside Matty Monday for the top 8 to the top 10 in row 5. We then find Nathan Favero starting alongside championship contender Mick Clifton. So there's 9 spots separating Clifton from Kokoschki here in qualifying. Row 6 and behind them, we then find Roy Clark and Craig Miller alongside each other as well to row 7. The top 14, it's Darryl Callaghan alongside Scott Weston out there here tonight. Top 15 is then made up of Scott McKenzie. He'll start alongside Tony Chapman out of P16. To row 9 and behind them we find James Boardman starting alongside Rick Viger for the top 18 cars. To row 10 we will find Chad Viger and championship leader Stuart Hall not getting the qualifying he wanted. Starts out of P20, work to be done to get up to that crucial top 10 position here this evening. Row 11 we then find Matt Scholes and Brett Fisher alongside each other. To row 12 we'll then find Andrew Listener and Tim Mulford as well. That's an unfortunate qualifying for Listener, who's had a great run this season. Needs to try and better that though in this race if he wants to continue his top 10 in the championship performance thus far. Yusuf Corfiadis, he'll start alongside Todd Duggan here this evening as well. To row 14 we then find Ernie Toth and Darren Goosey alongside each other. Row 15 is then Pete Kelleher and Wade Reynolds for our top 30. To the 16th row, we then find Jeremy Bush and Michael Quain alongside each other. To the 17th row of Brett Taylor and Mario Reali for the top 34. Row 18, we then find Scott McKeon and Andrew Galley starting out of P36. To row 19, it's our race controllers of Ed Cullen and Bruce McLeod and Reese DeGoey at the back of the field. So Andrew Galley will make up our starting grid this evening at the back position at the rear end of town.
Well, I mean, that grid, there's some surprises where people have qualified on that grid. How far down they are, and some how far up they are. I think there was, I can't remember what was qualifying or what was practice. There was 31 or I think nearly the whole field at one point there was within a second and a bit of the whole field. That's how close this split 2 is. And that's I assume why we're seeing some of the mix-ups in the starting grid, because it's so close.
Well,
Stewie Hall got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, work to do.
A lot of work to do.
If he wants that third race win in a row, he's got to gain 19 positions to put this car up into P1 tonight. Kokoschki doesn't have to go anywhere to get his 4th win of the season. For Clifton to get his 2nd round win and technically 3rd race win of the season, he would need to gain 9 positions up into P1. So work to be done for those 3 championship contenders. If points are dropped for Hall and for Kokoschki tonight, all of a sudden it will open the door to those that are lingering behind them by about 40-odd points. But ultimately, they just want to survive. They've got to survive tonight. They've got to survive those that try and push on. The differential is drivers may have forgotten in qualifying that they automatically start qualifying on the wet tyres and they had to change it to dries. I know Stewart, for example, attempted his first lap on wets, realised he was on wets and had to come in and take dries and only managed to get 1 lap in. So that's a challenge that drivers were facing all throughout this race or all throughout qualifying. That's another thing to remember as well for the race start, if they take dries or if they take wets.
It took a couple laps of the tyres to sort of get into a decent operating temperature too. So, you generally found that the second hot lap was when your tyres came on and you were able to sort of get everything happening. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether, on the start, always turn 1, that's one to watch out for. And then obviously turn 3 and 4 heading out of that back section of the track, always going to show some exciting things to happen.
Well, we can see there by the weather radar on the right-hand side, cloudy conditions, of course, 86% chance precipitation at the moment. So the rain is on its way. As I said, it is coming from an easterly direction. So if the wind changes from that easterly direction wind change that we are actually getting here today, then that is, of course, going to lead to some issues for drivers out there as well. Warm-up has been completed. We're going to get in for the race start here today. For Stephen Kokoschki on pole position, it's now about maintaining and getting himself another race win here this season. It would be his 4th race win if he were to put this all together, but he's got 250 Ks and 81 laps to contest with in his return to the series after 2 rounds away. The question I will ask you, though, is, Brett, is there some tarmac rust on board this car? Is there some tarmac rust from being away? I know he's been practicing, But race runs and practice runs, very different animals.
And the next question I was going to ask you was, can ask Stephen if he's in the chat. Is he going to be able to make the next 2 rounds?
That's right. He
Because
said that's going to come down
interesting.
to his time management and whether he can get the practice in. So that's going to be a very key thing. If he misses next week, or if he makes next week and misses Bathurst, it's done because Bathurst done drop ball. But if he misses next week, it's over because he cannot afford another donut next to his name, because he already has 2.
He's put the car on pole, so he's done the things that he needs to do so far. Kokoschki has done the first thing, tick. He's put himself in a good position. So now, can he convert that to a decent race finish tonight? Simon Hedesheed next to him. He's going to fight for it as well. We know that Simon's fast, and there's some other fast people in this grid, in this field. And we've got to watch out for him. Decent field tonight.
Well, there is Hedesheed P2 as well. He's just going to hop off the grid for a second here. Dave Arney, of course, back in P3. We can see him there as well. Kokoschki stating that he's going to try to make it as well. And Stuart Hall mentioning there, it wasn't just the wets that he had on as well. His throttle position was still on 2 for the slick run in qualifying. So he actually didn't change his throttle for a dry run. So that's another factor as well that drivers, of course, they're
tricky
considering.
little things.
Very, very tricky little things. So we'll see what happens off of this race start and who is going to reap the benefits of it throughout this race. Of course, 250 Ks, 2 compulsory pit stops, 80 litres is your starting fuel. The critical lap tonight is roughly lap 32. What does that mean? Well, it means on your first 80 litres, you can roughly make it to around about lap 26 to lap 30, depending on your fuel burn. The interesting point about that is, Brett, the rain is not scheduled to be here until at the earliest 2:15. Currently in Sim, it is 1:45. So we've got about half an hour, which is roughly 17 to 20 laps.
And then when it comes, how heavy is it?
Well,
is it going to affect,
that's right. Even if it's heavy, which we saw at Fuji a few seasons ago, remember it was heavy, but it still didn't get wet enough until about 10 laps later that you needed wets. So you've got to be able to balance out those tyres and pick them correctly. Strategy is going to be key tonight. Those that are starting down the order, Undercut City is open and on for you. Pitting early could be your key to victory tonight, or at least your key to massive positions gained, because you'll get into clean air, and as long as you don't go a lap down on the race leader, you should be in good stride going forward as well. Revs are going to rise, though, for these cars as we get ourselves prepared for a race start once again here at Sandown. Kokoschki and Hedesheed will start us on the front row. Arnie and Blanchard in behind them as well, with Burns and Mahoney looking to light things up here at Springvale, Victoria. We're just awaiting the correction from race control to get us going once again and to get us started here tonight too.
All Mustang front row with an all Chevrolet second row.
And then a mixed third row as well. There's the
Here
Revs.
we go.
Rising up. Ready to go racing here at Sandown. Kokoschki and Hedesheed on the front row. How's it going to go through turn number 1? Green flag. We're underway and a hot start for the front 2 as Hedesheed is etching into the race lead. Up towards turn number 1. Kokoschki, though, will lead us through 1 for the first time. Bit of contact, though, with Hedesheed, and then he loses it off the start line, off the corner exit and into the grass he goes. It is absolute chaos down at the exit of turn 1. Multiple cars involved, including the pole sitter and 3-time race winner, Stephen Kokoschki, who is now right down the order. This is absolute intensity personified off the race start. The one thing we can say, though, is Simon Hedesheed is as lucky a duck as ever. Got away cleanly, got away unscathed, got away in the race lead, and now leads the way to Paul Burns, Matt Munday, Chris Blanchard, Mick Clifton, Craig Miller, Abel Verban, Nathan Favero, Roy Clark, Joe Mahoney. That is the top 10. Horrid start for Mahoney, finds him down the order as that's massive contact for Pete Kelleher in the wall at Dandenong Road.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to hurt lap 1 as well.
That thing is not a start that Synergy Sim Racing wanted in this race.
No.
either, Brett. Unbelievable.
I'd be interested to see Simon Heddersheed and Kokoschki, at some stage on that replay. It looked like Heddersheed just got onto the back of oh, Jesus, it's been a while since I said that name. Kokoschki, and I wonder whether that actually was just what helped him around there.
Well,
as soon as he got out onto that ripple strip, that sent him around big time. Here we go.
Look at the rear of that car.
Oh, that wheel is
heavily damaged. Into pit lane it comes. No safety car to this point of the race either. So Paul Burns has actually now dropped back to P6, by the way. I think he may have actually copped a slowdown somewhere because he's had to drop in behind Verben, Clifton, Blanchard and Monday ahead of him as well. He's got Craig Miller on his heels, looking to put pressure on him here. This is going to be a long race, a long time for drivers to try and perform as best they can. There's already been some movers inside of the top 10. Miller is one of them, up 5. Clifton up 6. Monday up 6 as well. The only ones that enter the top 10 is Clark and Miller at this stage. Everyone else remains in the 10 or have dropped out of the 10. So a few movers outside of it include the likes of Scott Weston up 3 with Chapman up 3 as well. Viger up a few too as Mario Reale, Dave Arney have been off at Dandenong Road. So there's a whole heap of wars happening all throughout this field. And everyone is starting to push on here, including some... and there's Kelleher. Oh, look at that. Kelleher as well, just exiting pit lane, sorry, just very quickly into the line of fire for the traffic at this stage.
Yeah, was that Dave Arney still struggling to get it back to pit lane with front end damage there?
He's still going, actually. He hasn't actually come in.
He's still going. So he might be just sussing that car out, seeing what state it's in. Because you don't know. I mean, your spotter tells you, you got a bit damaged, but it doesn't say, you're missing your whole front end. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, Corfidis has gone round to turn 4. So another moment in the early part of this race and the chaos that it's bringing. We haven't even got the rain yet. Is there going to be a safety car early on in this one? Because right now, the man who's in the cleanest spot is Simon Heddersheed, who's continuing to gain positions here. Stuart Hall battling away with Chad Viger and now Matthew Skulls as well.
A lot of gravel being dragged onto that track out of the Dandenong corner.
There is indeed. Baldwin in.
So
first of the pit stoppers. Baldwin's in, Hall's in as well. So they're trying to play a strategy here, undercut the field, but importantly, they're looking for clean air, it seems, Brett, to push these cars on forward. Now, they are limited of what can actually go in the car on the first stop. They're not open because of the 80 litres of starting fuel, you've got a limited amount you can actually put in to get to a full tank, of course, of 133. So they can roughly only fit in about 60-odd litres on board those cars, which isn't enough for a halfway fill, but it's fairly close in terms of strategy.
Certainly, and with the loom of that rain coming, we don't know when that's going to happen. So that could also play into the hands of some and not others. Coming down to Dandenong corner. Abel Verben with Matty Monday with off track.
He got real loose then through Dandenong Road. As Verben now on his heels, that's allowed Clifton and Blanchard through to the podium positions at this stage.
Yeah, Verben with the fastest lap of the race so far, a 9:01.91. Clifton in pit lane.
So Favero saying it's a risky strat if rain comes early and second stop isn't at critical lap. Well, the important thing for you, Nathan, is it's enough fuel to get them to critical lap because 60 litres is enough to surpass them past lap 32. If the rain were to come early, it just means that they're committing to a third stop if it was wet enough. But ultimately, because of how long it normally takes for the track to actually get wet enough for wet tyres, Brett, it should be enough to offset them. Roughly, based on when the rain is scheduled to arrive on the forecast.
Oh, Mahoney carrying a bit of damage on the front of that car, obviously from that probably that first lap stuff. Still holding ninth position though. He's down 3 from where he started.
As well, but Blanchard running strong here in P2. He's got Monday and then Verben in behind him as well. Paul Burns makes up our top 5. It's Miller, Favero, Clark, Mahoney. Scott Weston is inside of the top 10 now, up 4 positions. Andrew Galley, by the way, the big gainer on lap 1, up 17, avoided all the carnage, is now up into the top 20.
That's a cracking start for Andrew. He'd be looking to have a good race.
After starting in last place, Is he already trying to etch his name on the trophy of driver of the day by getting 17 spots already?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe he could be, but it's early days. 6 laps in.
Oh, that's right.
He's on my tail at the moment.
So to
And
also...
I must say too, Andrew was suffering really, really heavy with COVID. He was as sick as a dog.
Well, that's a real shame for Andrew, as Michael Quain's had a minor off track further down the order as well. There's Dave Arney still dealing with that damage as well. So importantly too, so those drivers that have already picked, Mick Clifton, James Boardman, Stuart Hall, and then Pete Kelleher was forced to take his first stop, but he's unfortunately a lap down already. So Hall, Boardman and Clifton are still, strategy-wise, all on the same strat. They've all taken roughly the same amount of fuel. They've all taken tyres, and they're all planning for their second stop to be their last of this race. Their last to take wet tyres when the rain arrives. Now, it is coming at this stage. Unless there is a wind change, which pushes the rain away, at this point, it is coming. And if that happens, they're still in a pretty safe spot. And if that happens, they're still in a safe spot because they've already done their first stop. They can make it to critical lap. If the rain doesn't come, they're not actually worse off for this strategy call. You may say it's risky. This is a strategy. I can tell you for the fact that 2 of the championship contenders have pulled this strategy out, it's a calculated one because they're trying to calculate what is their best chance of having a clean race, clean run, clean car, but also a clean changeover to wet tyres. That's the crucial thing.
Mick Clifton just doing the fastest lap of the race at 109.156.
And there you go. There's already the big gain for them. They've got 20.
Yep.
They've got 7 odd seconds separating them and the next car ahead in Dave Arney, and they're free to do 109s while the rest of the field is being marred by traffic and having their lap times get cut down. I mean, everyone below, Scott Weston or below, down to Chad Viger are all in the 110s. Boardman and Hall were in that pack of cars. All of a sudden, they're gaining a second a lap. Like, the gain alone is unbelievable for them to this stage of the race. So that strategy may be risky. It is one that is looking to pay off for them. As Tony Chapman is having a wide berth and run at turn 1. Found the sand trap. Will look to rejoin. Oh, nearly rejoins right in the line of fire at Todd Duggan. Very, very close. And Chapman will look to get going again. I don't think the Kiwis are used to sand. I don't know how many beaches there are in New Zealand, but might be the first time.
There's beaches all around the country, isn't it?
That's
Around the
true.
outside.
That is now an 18th position, by the way, for Andrew Galley. He's now up to P18. What a start to this race. No, Brett. I thought New Zealand was just it was just a cliff face around the whole country. No beach whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, like the well, it could be.
Kokoschke now with the fast up the race, by the way, 109.14. So he's starting to make moves as Wade Reynolds getting pressured here by Tim Mulford. So Kokoschke be driving angry. Mulford will be trying to push on as well. It's important they get the strategy call right tonight. Of course, 2 compulsory pit stops. Last week, of course, we only had the 1. That meant that, we had 0, sorry. So that meant that, strategy was up to the drivers to try and figure out as they run it towards turn number 1. Darren Goosey is now into pit lane, and it's been an unfortunate season for him, one of unfortunate luck all throughout. We hope for him to have a better run next season in season 29. Matt Monday, though, continues this battle with Chris Blanchard, Abel Verb and Paul Burns. Simon Hedersheed has run away with it. 5.6 seconds to this stage. They're going to need a safety car to chase him down because ultimately he is consistently running 109s whilst Blanchard is being a cork in the bottle right now and holding that pack of cars behind him back, and it is only bleeding the time up to Hedersheed. And by the looks of it, Brett, if they go a stint without catching him at this rate, he's going to have enough to cover extra fuel on board this car without dropping a position, which is going to hand him the race win.
Yeah, and obviously race controllers have had a look. I'm assuming by now, lap 10 of 81, as Kokoschke goes another fastest lap of the race, at that turn 1 incident and possibly nothing coming of it. So play on.
Yeah, that's right. Which obviously we saw it from our angles. It looked to be that he just lost the rear on the curb and didn't really have much more he could do about it as well. Kokoschki now putting that pressure on Chapman.
I just saw when they went into the turn, the starting stage of the turn, it looked like Hedesheed and Kokoschki came together with a little bit of leaning on the back end of Kokoschki's car. And then that unsettling the car and getting out onto the ripple strip, which then ultimately turned him around. But, hey, I'd be interested to see that maybe later on back in the replay.
Confirm as well, Chris Blanchard's actually carrying some damage at the moment because of an incident that happened on lap 1 from a car trying to clear a slowdown at Dandenong Road. So that's why he's actually giving up so much time to Hedesheed at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is not helping his case or the other cars behind him either. But again, this is only helping those that have already taken their stops, i.e. Clifton, who was in and amongst that battle for position with Blanchard. And then you look to Boardman and Hall, who are trying to gain time on that front pack. This is only helping them massively in this race to try and get some free positions off the back of this. As Goosey, it's unfortunate, just runs wide at the bottom of Dandenong Road. Wide.
Oh, it's always good to sort of get into the gravel on the track down at Dandenong Road. It's always fun.
I don't know if you really want to run wide down there. You'll end up on Princess Highway and running out towards. Yeah,
there's not much.
Running out towards Springvale. Mahoney and Mackenzie battle away once again. They've got
the Viger boys again.
Yeah, they're together again.
Together again.
Unbelievable, isn't it? They were together again last week. One of them was a lap down, but still.
Yeah.
They keep on finding each other. Mahoney here with Mackenzie and behind him. Skulls as well continue this battle. And this is now one of those pressure pop moments of the race. You're just trying to push on. Keep these cars in check and keep yourself in check to this stage too. It's important now to think about how you're going to strategize this race. Remembering too that as soon as it starts raining, you don't want to hop straight in pit lane and put wets on because the track is still going to be relatively dry. You've got to wait around about probably 10 laps before the wets are even going to have any sort of advantage for you because of the crossover period. So those that have already pit for dries are going to have a very good ability to measure when the wet tyres are going to need to be put on those cars.
Yeah, and watching the Split 1 replay the other day, it was quite incredible how long those guys went on a wet track on dry tyres. And some of them didn't even get into the wet tyres.
Shane Randall never did. He stayed on dries the whole time in that race. So, you know, it's quite remarkable that can happen. It happened back at Phillip Island in Split 3 as well. So it could be a chance that the rain tonight is not even wet enough to take wet tyres. But you've got to be careful of the greasy conditions on dries. As Mulford comes in, we'll see what this strategy looks like for him at this stage. He'll be hoping to have a nice clean pit stop. May look here just to take enough fuel and tyres to get to critical lap and not enough to offset himself by about 20 laps in this one. Let's see what it looks like for him though when he exits pit lane. We're right on board with Matt Monday. So he continues to chase down Chris Blanchard. Clifton's gotten past Mulford. Mulford, though, is about to exit pit lane. And he's about to exit right in front of James Boardman. The differential is, though, Boardman has got 13 seconds that he is going to gain on Mulford the next time they run through pit lane.
Yeah, when we sort of see our second stops come around, that'll definitely be the case as long as they keep the cars on the straight and narrow. Very interesting turn, that turn 1. It's off camber. Very difficult to get the car under control of the brakes. Heavy braking and you turn it in and you've got a lot of off camber. Wild section of track. I mean, some people love this. Some people love this track. Some people hate this track. I personally love it. I think it's a fantastic track. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's an absolutely fantastic racing venue. Simon Hedesheed leads the way up towards the S's once again. His next car on the road that he sees ahead of him is this one right here, Stuart Hall, who's just coming up and around turn 11 and 12, although he's already taken his first pit stop on the night. He'll be hoping to remain on the lead lap prior to Hedesheed's first stop on the evening. Chris Blanchard at the moment, P2, is a further 7.3 seconds back and is currently being hounded by this train that's tailed
by Roy Clark. There you see him behind them as well. Scott Weston getting past the lap traffic of Darren Goosey. And then we've got Callahan and the Viger brothers trying to chase down that top 10 as well.
The Viger brothers are coming. The Viger... No. Sorry.
Was
everyone
that
out there.
High Five Santa Claus is Coming?
What?
It sounded like the tune of
No.
High Five Santa Claus is Coming.
High Five the Santa Claus? No.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is. I know what High Five is, but
Yes.
no, that definitely not. Mackenzie just getting past Mahoney there. Reynolds into pit lane.
A pretty crucial pit stop for Wade Reynolds now to maximise this, as you see Dave Arney with some heavy damage still trying to chase down Michael Quain to this point of the race.
Obviously that car is not handling that bad, so
Well,
he's
when-
doing all right.
When it's got no aero anyway.
Yeah. Well, he's using the car in front of him as aero.
That's right. Fast of the race last time by for Tim
Oh,
Mulford
Mulford.
as well, 108.71. That will come down to the fact, though, he has actually got a lighter car than those that have pitted around him, as I said, by about 13 seconds. So he's got roughly 20 litres less in the car than those around him, but of course that is 20 litres more he'll have to put back in later in this race. That will offset him comparatively to those other cars.
Kokoshi just getting past Chapman.
And Kokoschki's a man on a mission now. He's got to try and
Yeah.
chase down those positions, because ultimately he's on a net loss compared to those other two of Clifton and Hall. Even though they've taken their pit stop and they're down the order, he is on the negative comparatively to them tonight. So he's got to try and get a wriggle on, try and get this car into a top 5 position just to offset the points that he may be losing to those other two. And that's what's crucial for him tonight. He's got to try and gain on Hall. Doesn't really need to gain on Clifton, but he needs to gain on Hall. If he gives up points to Hall tonight, makes his life a hell of a lot harder for Adelaide and for Bathurst coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Well, you got to. I mean, look, you know, unfortunately, what's happened to him in that first lap, but you've got to give guys challenges. You know, like, Jesus, tight.
This tight, he's trying to get past Todd Duggan, gave him a little bit of a tap then. Just confirm, was it the Venga bus actually that you were trying to tune there? Brett,
Yeah.
as well? Okay, there we go. I've also just realised that the Venga bus
The
is
Viger
the
boys
same.
are coming.
Yeah.
The Viger boys are
It's
coming.
the same tune. Both songs have actually got the same tune, the Venga bus and the Santa
have they?
Claus
I
Coming.
don't.
Yes, the same
yeah,
tune.
well, you're probably more familiar with the Take
Well,
5 song than I am.
I'm of age to have listened to High Five
Yeah.
when they were in their heyday. So,
Yeah.
you know, me and my fellow 30-year-olds. Actually, this time
Yeah,
next week.
whippersnappers.
Well, this time next week, Brett, my age will match the season number of V8 Veterans for the first time. I'm going to
Your birthday
spend.
next week.
It is. I'm going to spend one race of vets as old as the season before it's older than me forever. Literally one. Bathurst will be the only round of the race where I won't be where my age will not match the season number, and then it's over. I'll never match it ever again.
Sitting on board with Kakashi at the moment. Just rattling, not quite yet on the back of Todd Duggan. We saw a little attempt at a pass there a few moments ago. And he got did he get a good exit? A little bit of a wiggle in the tail, but he did get a good exit. Can he do anything with it here? Gets up the little, not
getting
far
held
enough.
up. No, he's getting held up now
Yeah.
by Duggan, and that's the challenge for him. And right now, Duggan's former teammate of Stuart Hall is licking his lips because his ex-teammate's doing him a real solid right now. He's holding Kokoschki back, making it harder for Stephen to actually gain on Hall whilst he's trying to run around in clean air further down the field. Last lap by, Kokoschki was in the 10s. Hall has been consistently doing 109s in that clean air further back. He is going to be up inside the top 10 by the time of this second pit stop.
You can see by the attitude of that car, he's really wanting to wring the neck of it, getting past here, because he knows, as you said, he's being held up.
Yep.
He just wants to get on with the job. He just needs to sort of, and every time he overdrives the car, the tyres heat up. He's got a bit of a run on the outside.
Duggan gave it to him.
Duggan lifts.
Because he's got damage on the front of the
Good
car.
move,
He
good
can't
move.
hang on to it, unfortunately, for him. So he just has to let him go to this stage. You see the front pack continues this battle. Wade Reynolds is now at risk of going a lap down on Chris Blanchard and everybody else chasing him down, as well as they look to run through turn number 1. You see the sort of pace they're running over the chicane. There's turn 2. Watches the cars rise up over it. Look at that. Hungry cars. Oh, that there. Sorry, that there was Matt Scholes, who was in the grass at turn 3. Matt Scholes has been in the grass at turn 3, trying to get going again. The 2-time champion, not having the run that he would have wanted here tonight.
And Heddersheet just about, well, he's pulling nearly 9.5 seconds now on the field at the moment. So he's really in just I'll be casual land at the moment, but getting on with the job at hand.
And this may be one of the most dominant victories we ever see in the Gen 3 era if Heddersheet can pull this off.
Past each other there.
As Reale continues his battle. If the trajectory for Heddersheet right now is without a safety car, he could be 15, 20 seconds ahead of the field by the time this race ends. If the trajectory continues, because he is running such a clean race right now. No one is around him. The only thing that could really ruin this for the Kiwi is a safety car intervention, because with that damaged car of Blanchard, no one can really get past him. It's already a hard enough track to pass at. He's holding them back, and that is bleeding the time up to the race leader.
McCune in pit lane.
There's Scott McCune. So he ends up in the box. Clifton will come past. Mulford will come past as well. Boardman and Hall should both surpass him as well from their earlier pit stops in this race. There is championship leader Stuart Hall, trying to do everything he can to put this car inside of the top 10. After starting P20 tonight, he has work to do. Currently, though, he's only 3 spots behind his contender in Mick Clifton, who would only be gaining roughly 6 points on Hall's championship lead after tonight's race. So actually, he's not sitting too bad comparatively to where they actually started the race, which was 10 positions separated. So,
and it's interesting the way this championship is forming. Like, it's not, like if Kokoschka didn't miss those 2 rounds, we might have seen a little bit of a runaway, but it's regained a bit of momentum up the top end. So, hold on to your hats. It's not over yet.
It's going to be one to watch, because we know that Adelaide is going to play a factor. We know it's going to be a character in itself, and we know that the undroppable final 300-kilometre round of Mount Panorama is going to be a factor as well. Think about what happened earlier in the season. We already saw Stuart Hall finish inside the top 10 at Bathurst earlier this season. If he could match that this season, he may be on for a championship. But he's got to perfect tonight's race and next week at Adelaide as well, as does Mick Clifton, who arguably could be the crowd favourite to try and win out this championship. He already had the support back at Winton when he took home his very first race win. Is it going to come down to the crowd favourite winning this season, or is it going to come down to a man that's been an old guard of Split 1 for a very long time, coming back to Split 2 for the first time and winning it on his first attempt to go back up to Split 1? That right there is, I think, as good of a story as ever. Scott McKenzie is now into pit lane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't it good the last 3 races are starting to gain a bit of momentum in this? It's not over until the fat lady sings, or can you say that now? I don't know. I just did. Bad luck. Move on. They're the Venga boys. Viga boys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like I'm saying as well, it must be a Kiwi
Adelaide.
Thing. I think it is a Kiwi thing for Heddersheet tonight.
I love this these final 3 races in the series. I think, how good would it be to do more of these sort of 3 races at the end of a season?
For endurance races, you mean? Yes, I agree. I think it is a fantastic setup to have the 3 endurance races at season's end. You end it obviously with your big races. I think you have 2 short races in a season, like 2 150Kers. You have the rest of your races be your intermediate 200K races, but yeah, the last 3 being a 250, a 250, and a 300 is absolutely fantastic. And I hope for next season we get that happening again to end out the season.
Clark,
especially with the final round being undroppable, I think is a spectacular prospect as well. So that's one thing I look forward to. Clark is running really, really strong at the moment. Four, really well to come back from his poor runs this season, but also his good runs this season. He's been really up and down.
And that's it. He's had some very light and dark moments throughout this season, but I think overall, he's stepped up to the plate a bit more. And there's a few drivers in here that have done that. They've really, the bar has been raised, and they have actually just gone, yeah, you know what, keep pushing the bar up. We're gonna run with it. So good on these drivers. And I just split 2 this season. Well, it's been solid. Absolutely solid. Great racing. Not a huge amount of safety cars either. As we see Stephen Kokoschka getting past Andrew Gully. So another little check off his list there. Oh, a little bit run wide.
Running wide there for Roy Clark. That's not going to help him in his chase down as Favero has gone wide. So I wonder if actually there was a problem with the rejoin then that's caused Favero actually to go off track, because now Weston and Callaghan have come past Favero, and that's dropped him to the back end of the top 10, being pressurised by the Viger brothers, who continue to try and push their way up towards the top 10. And how great is it to see the Viger brothers racing together on track, trying to work together to get into the top 10.
Absolutely. It's been a bit of a thing with those boys this season, isn't it? They've been doing really, really well running together. So great to see a little bit of support on track. Kokoschka now breathing down my neck, and as he gets past myself, has a bit of a go there.
And racing really, really well is Kokoschka.
Andrew Gelly up 19 at the moment.
Look at the last corner, Brett.
Precipitation.
There's some rain, so the rain is coming here. Lap 25 of 81, and Paul Burns is off the road at turn 1. But the track's not wet enough. I think that there was just a mistake. No.
Yeah, it was
just a mistake.
The track could not be wet enough.
So the rain has started to fall at the final turn. That is the easterly direction, so it is coming from the Princess Highway side. And as stated, really coming from the direction, and now it's up onto the straight. So the spotty rain has arrived, and it is starting to fall here. A few drivers are starting to make mistakes. So Arnie and Quain at turn 1. But again, there's no rain down there. Mulford's gone off as well.
So it might be just some desperate moves there, maybe. So
this is now the game of how long do you go until the track is wet enough, because the rain has actually started to hit turn 1. So you've now got to watch that outside curb at 1, because that's going to be a real danger zone. Paul Burns is in, and I'm seeing wet tyres in his pit bay. So wets are going on this car, but it's very early.
Early call.
It is early, but I have to wonder if this is the extent of his fuel, and he's forced to take wets now. Because there'd be no worth in coming in, taking a set of dryers, rolling around for a little bit,
back out,
and then coming back in again. There'd be no worth in it. He's better just taking the wets now and hoping the track moistens up.
Clark getting past Weston.
And again, this is now where your strategy's got to be name of the game. And we look towards those that have already pitted. Clifton, Mulford, Boardman, Hall. All those guys have already had their first stop. So all they've got to wait for now is the track to get wet enough that we need wets. They put the wets on, they can get home. And it's done and dusted pretty much. They just have to try and keep themselves in the race.
Yeah. And they do. I guess the other thing too is they hope that the rain sticks around too.
If it dries out. Looking at the radar, it's going to. The rain is going to be staying with us at least until the final 10 laps, and by that point, it's going to be wet enough that it won't dry out.
Yeah.
So this should be a wet tyre run to the end. So
can you draw a picture and put that on screen of the radar? Don't bother. Kick up. Don't worry about it.
Hang on.
Get your crayons out. So Hedeshid at the moment is still commanding the respect of the field at the moment with 12.8 seconds out in front of Blanchard. Blanchard still holding off Monday, Vaban, Miller, Clark, Weston, Callaghan, Favero, and first of the Viger brothers, Rick, in out of the top 10. So lap 27 at the moment of 81. Quine getting past Hall. And then back again, so they must have been side by side.
Starting to put the
Starting
pressure
to rain
on.
a bit further around the track. But like you said, I mean, how much rain is actually coming down? How much of it is actually, wetting the track at this stage? It's one of those things too. Like you really got to feel the car out. Ooh, was that a bit of water, or was that a lock up there by Blanchard? A little bit of a spray there. I think there's a couple of sprays starting to show. But it's probably still too dry for wet tyres at the moment. Oh, there we go. That's not a radar, but that'll do.
It's about as close as I can find. Just to let you know it's wet.
Well done.
Yep.
Yeah, righto. Righto. What percentage of wet?
Yes.
No, don't worry about it.
No,
That's just the unfortunate part about not being live, that we don't get that information that we can sort of share, which was great, when I was listening to
is this, which gives us the precipitation amount, but not really anything like that. One thing I want is this if SDK allows us to bring up the weather radar for iRacing at least, to actually show the radar. That would be nice.
That would be good. Would be good. So a little bit of spray showing around the track in certain spots. You can see off Blanchard's front tyres there, a little bit of spray, not a huge amount. Not enough to really sort of panic at this point. We can see as well that Koshki himself in pit lane.
Duggan's in as well. So, and I would assume this is going to be wet tyres again, because there's no point in taking dries. So everyone who's pitting should be taking wets. If they take dries, it's going to be a massive mistake. Darren Goose has had a minor off-track previously as well. Favero also had one. I'm trying to find him. Here he is here. It's down at turn 2-3. This is a very, very wet area of the track to this stage. So we can see that the dry line is formed through turn 4, but how wet is the major spark points of this circuit? Turn 9 looks okay at Dandenong Road. It doesn't look too wet down there. But how is turn 1? You can see a little bit of splash of water coming up over some of the parts track, but again, it's nowhere near wet enough that you should need wet tyres. As drivers are coming in, Blanchard, Monday in, Verben and Miller are going to stay out, so that's just keep an eye on this as cars exit pit lane. So Kokoschki and yourself, Fred, are going to come past, but let's watch turn 1, because we've got to see how much spray is there at the moment. There's not that much.
Can we go on board with my screen's just frozen for a second there. But can we go on? Oh, it has frozen.
Has it actually?
No, we're back. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
So cars have been coming through pit lane as well. So Blanchard, Monday, Favero, Corfiadis, Callaghan, Chapman, Viger have all rolled through pit lane. Remember how I mentioned earlier on that Hall and Boardman were going to jump Kokoschki? They've jumped him immensely. There is 32.5 seconds between James Boardman and Scott McKenzie. That is the differential of their lap times they were able to pull by pitting early. Remembering that these cars, as well as Tim Mulford and Mick Clifton, only need one more stop to get their cars home. So they just need to stop for this set of wets, and they're done. They're home. They've just got to then push on. And if a safety car comes out, they are absolute golden goose.
Nathan just saying a double down shift from third into first into turn 2. Yep, that'll do it. We've seen a plethora of cars coming in. His header sheet in. Our leader in.
Yep. So Chad Viger has stayed out. Andrew Galley has stayed out as well. And again, I think they're pitting too early for the wet tyres. So I don't mind this strategy of the guys like Galley, who's trying to gain bulk positions tonight by running long and by keeping this car in check. I don't hate this strategy. He's only got one car ahead of him, which is Corfiadis. Is actually going to cross over turn 2. And we saw last week he was nearly involved in an incident late with the race winner.
No.
But somehow they kept it out. Yeah, that's a great move for Galley to get the job done.
And don't forget that Galley is actually a dirt track driver. I don't know much about what he does there, but he's quite home on the dirt, the loose stuff. So this would be, he'd be tiptoeing around in conditions that he's quite used to.
Top 4 have not yet pitted. So Viger, Galley, Bush, Taylor, Verben have not. Oh, no, sorry, Verben has taken his first stop. That was on lap 30. But I have a feeling that he has actually... I thought maybe he actually had a penalty. He doesn't though. But there's Heddersheed. So
Viger
right on his tail is Heddersheed. Viger in, Galley in. And I think Verben's actually might have come out on the dries. I think he's actually coming on the dry tyres. So he may have to come in again. Stuart Hall's had a minor incident. He's run wide down to Dandenong Road. So Hall's ran it deep. We may see him come into pit lane now. Heddersheed has pushed on. Verben is in for his second stop. Only one lap later than when he last stopped on lap 30. Very interesting call. Baldwin has kept going. Hall's kept going as well.
Starting to see a decent bit of spray on a couple of sections of the track now. Still that dry line a little bit there. But I'm assuming the curbs at this point would be starting to get a little bit slick. Certain sections of the track you can actually climb over the curbs and not be affected too badly. But other sections of the track, it's like hitting ice.
But this is fuel window though, so a lot of cars had to pit.
Baby. Yeah.
A lot of cars had to pit, take their tyres, take their fuel to the end. But again, this is now the crucial window. And thinking about this as well, Brett, those cars that did pit already actually were forced to run the cars to this lap. They had to run the cars this lap to get to critical to pit to get home. If they'd actually pitted earlier, they may not have actually made it. Although running in the wet, they would have run less fuel. Probably would have been okay if they'd pitted on lap 30 or 29 compared to lap 32. But again, they're just trying to push on. So
here we go.
Darren Goosey is in, as is Mick Clifton. Boardman's in as well. So final stops coming our way. Championship leader Stuart Hall should be coming in as well. He is going to follow his teammate. So again, crucial.
Rain definitely coming down all around the track.
So Heddersheed back to the race lead as Tim Mulford has just traversed turn 2 and nearly careened into Heddersheed. The true gap right now for position, Heddersheed to Callaghan, is 17.5 seconds. Back to Blanchard, who was P2, it's 23 seconds. So the ridiculous margins of Simon Heddersheed's race, the Kiwi racing in the wet weather, something in the water apparently for Kiwis and running in the wet.
The Kiwis love the rain.
They do.
Yeah, they just love it. Absolutely love it. Well, I don't know what they do, but they seem to perform well in it anyway. Kokoschke and Duggan and Kokoschke again, so they must be side by side somewhere.
I'm trying to find him.
Or were.
As Michael Quain is just going to traverse the second to last corner as well. Yeah. So that's now getting
we're starting to see,
tight.
Yeah, we're starting to see now a few mistakes happening here and there. You know, maybe adjustments need to be made in brake bias. And here we go back again. Duggan on the inside of Kokoschke. Doesn't get it done. Or they still side by side.
They are. Kokoschke will now finally get it completed. Duggan will tuck back in behind.
Slide there.
Mulford's in, by the way. So Mulford is in. This should be his final stop, we would assume, as Craig Miller has gone off the road down at the last corner. Crucial mistake. Wait a minute. Hang on. Tim Mulford has not taken a long enough pit stop to get home. He had a 13-second stop previously. He's gone 26 seconds. He needs another probably 10 seconds worth of fuel.
Yeah.
So he may be planning for a third stop in anticipation of dries. But he's run it wide at turn 1. And around goes Todd Duggan. Was that contact with Kokoschke? And the rejoin as well. Absolute chaos down at 1.
Yeah, this is crazy.
And look at this. Clifton,
side by side too.
Clifton, who's had his second stop, is battling with Kokoschke right now. So this is hot and heavy in terms of race and in terms of championship proceedings. Unbelievable. But for Mulford, he's possibly just thrown away a top 5 because now he's locked himself in to a 3rd pit stop in this race. An unbelievable nail in the coffin heartbreaker.
Yeah, little mistakes like that really, really hurt.
Oh, well, Tony Chapman's claiming he hates the rain. He mustn't be a real Kiwi.
Oh, Mulford.
Oh, and now he's off again. Here's Mulford. So really struggling.
Yeah, really, really loose. Kokoschki now beside Mulford. He's going to want to clear him. And Clifton's going to want to clear Mulford as well fairly quickly if he can.
Well, indeed. Well, as Wade Reynolds is now off the road at Dandenong Road as well. So more incidents coming. More issues for drivers. And again, just trying to keep themselves in a line of stern.
Big.
Reynolds is not happy and he's not healthy at the moment. And again, this is now a completely jumbled race scenario, completely jumbled field, and a completely jumbled where are we going to be after these next pit stops, because vast majority of the field needs a second stop. So let's look at this tower. Mulford, Clifton, although Mulford needs a 3rd. So actually Clifton, Boardman, Hall, Mackenzie, Verban, Reynolds, Scholes, McCune, Kelleher, Goosey. They can all get home. But the key names in that is Clifton, Boardman and Hall, who've had fairly decent pace in this race and have got fairly decent track positioning as well. The key is, though, they've got to try and push on and not get held up by traffic as Brett Taylor comes into pit lane. The other key statistic for you is Simon Hedesheed. This man right here is probably 45 laps away from a race win if this race were to stay green, because the time differential that he's got between himself and Blanchard, who's corrected P2 in the order, is it feels far too vast for Blanchard to chase down and contest with based on the lap times that Hedesheed's been putting in, because Blanchard would have to be running 108 consistently lap after lap just to chase him down, and it doesn't feel likely that that could happen.
And track seems to be in a funny state at the moment too. Like there's spray coming up off the track. I know on the night it felt really greasy. It felt like one of those tracks that didn't, like if you didn't have rain for about a month and a half on the road, you get all that oil and grime and bits and pieces, and you get a bit of water on it, and it just feels really odd. It's not, This is about as this is probably peak greasy conditions that you could ever think of for a supercar, because what we're seeing is, as you said, we've had rubber laid down through practice, qualifying, and the race, and key areas where the rubber's been laid down, mind you. Duggan in.
As Duggan comes in, the key areas where the rubber's actually been laid down, of course, turn 1, the turn 2 and 3 curbs, which you've now got to try and start to avoid, the exit curb as well of every corner. You do not want to be hitting exit curbs. The run through turn 4 is going to be a little bit greasy, but the main one is up here at turn 6 before you actually start to come down the hill at the S's. That is going to be a killer. The fast kink at turn 6 as the run down the hill towards Dandenong Road is going to be an absolute murderer, because this corner here is going to be so greasy. If you catch the curb wrong, it's going to fire you off into the tyre barrier. Maybe a spot for fireworks. Same can be said down here at Dandenong Road, where Kokoschki has barely been able to pull it up, as I think it was Todd Duggan's also been off track as well. So multiple cars are getting caught out by this fresh, greasy conditions as they fight here in the light rain for split 2. Lap 3 out of 81. Clifton fights him and Mulford, but really this is not a fight because Mulford needs to pit again. So Clifton's going to try and get it done as quickly as possible to push
Clifton
himself up towards the order.
Clifton want to clear him as fast as he can.
Yep.
Coming across, the car just coming out of pit lane. Oh, a little bit of a tap in the bum.
That was Pete Kelleher and Darryl Callaghan, who've recently come out of pit lane. Most recently, though, was Kelleher.
Mulford just.
Oh, he's struggling. And again, though, he needs that next stop. And
Yeah.
this is the weird and wacky strategy that he's trying to play. Maybe hoping for a safe car.
lights
Lights
are
are on. So the track would now be declared wet from the iRacing spotter. We know that as soon as the headlights turn on, that's when the declaration is made by this spotter. So we're going to be here on wet tyres for a while. And I think we're going to be on wets for the rest of the race now, because ultimately, for it to dry out, it's going to take a long time to dry out. Oh, my God.
Can he get the drive out? No, he can't.
Can he get
That
the
was
drive
so
out?
close.
Can he get the dry out? Can he get the drive out? He's trying to
Drive
do it all as
out.
much as he can.
Yeah.
As Mulford and Clifton continue this fight. But the bottle, the next scenario for Clifton, is not helping him, especially with James Boardman now lurking at the back of this train, who is hoping to try and chase down and pass Clifton. It's also not helping him in keeping Stuart Hall away, because now Hall will be slowly but surely chasing him down as well. But these conditions, and I've seen multiple different race types and car types race in these conditions, it does not promote confident racing. It promotes, it lowers your confidence. It means that you don't necessarily trust the car or the track or the combination, and you're trying to tiptoe it throughout the rest of the race. This is by far the most dangerous part of this race now, more so than lap 1, turn 1, because now not only are you contesting with the track, with the car, you're also contesting with your own mentality as well.
Oh, wiggle. Now he got that on the ribbon strip then. Yeah, we'd almost be better with a bucket load more rain.
You would be better with it being drenched than what it is now.
Yeah. And
there you see, running it wide. Because again, the wet tyres are not getting any grip, because as soon as they go offline, it's all greasy and lightly wet, and there's no water for it to clear right. So the slick, it's not good enough for slicks, because slicks are like ice skates, especially when they're cold.
Yeah.
And the wets are not doing nearly as much as what they could.
Well,
so the wet tyres work best when it is literally a drenched circuit, when it is so wet that there's pooling water. That's when they work best.
And exactly as you said before, you just don't have the confidence in the car. Right. Because it all seems a little bit foreign as you're driving the car. It's not doing what you're expecting it to do. It's in that in-between state. So anyway, this is the conditions we've got to fight with at the moment, and some of them doing well, some of it, coming a little bit unstuck.
I'll tell you who's doing really well, Andrew Galley and Joe Mahoney. Mahoney, who qualified well inside of the top 10, maintaining position, and then Andrew Galley, who's up 27 positions tonight in this race, and really could be on for a positive finish, because he took a very long stop in his first run through pit lane. So with a short stop possibly coming, where it can be even shorter than what it would have been in the dry, it means now he could be on for a proper gain of positions throughout this race, enough that could finish him inside of the top 10 by the end of this race, which would be a hell of an effort after starting literally last place on the grid.
And as I stated before, with COVID, feeling like crap, Scotty Weston just going off track for a second. Yeah, and as I said, like when he was in Discord, he sounded absolute garbage, and he said he is as crook as a dog. I think he mentioned he was thinking about not racing, but he was there, and so far having an absolute corker.
It must be the rain, although what we're seeing is there's a bit of drama. Matt Scholes has been into it down at the final corner. Michael Quain now into pit lane as well, so every little bit of action that we're seeing happen in this race is all starting to come about. The wet weather and the rain is being a character in this one that you couldn't have asked for a better storyline from. As drivers fight their way down the hill. There you saw Boardman got real loose and sideways down the hill. They've got to be cautious. Oh, round goes Dave Arney. Dave Arney caught the curb then. That car caught the curb and around it went. So
that
important.
Snapped on him.
Yep, so important now. They've got to avoid.
On the rejoin.
Corfidis and Toth.
with Stewie Hall. Is it
Yeah,
Stewie Hall behind?
yeah, that's Stewie Hall. So
behind.
Hall right now wants to try and get past these guys because if they start to battle, they're going to hold him up. So he's got to try and get this job done. But again, there's really no worth in them battling because he's always going to get by them. As Todd Duggan has had a moment, and this is up. Is this up at the S's? It is. It's down at Dandenong Road. He's actually gone round at the back end of the second. He's parked there. He's holding his brakes, and Roy Clark's just driven straight into him.
Roy Clark's nailed him. Yeah, right. Oh, and watch the rejoin. No, that wasn't too bad.
Not too bad. That's okay.
Yeah, well, he's done the right thing. It's just unfortunate that probably these conditions, especially if you sort of see him on the last minute, you know.
Oh,
another car
Dale
off.
Callaghan is off down at Dandenong Road as well. So that section of track may be starting to get a bit greasy. Cars are flying off the road.
Oh,
Rick Viger has gone deep down at turn 9. So once again,
that big damage on Callaghan's car.
Yeah, I think it might be. It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that car is
big,
absolutely
big
cooked. Oh, as Goosey's now gone off too. And Todd Duggan's run it deep at turn 1. So it is all happening.
Wow.
The greasy conditions are starting to bite back as Callaghan is struggling to get that car back into pit lane.
And he's in. Oh, he'll be breathing. Oh, that front right, left, sorry. That is cooked. 44 of 81.
And just like that, it's
fresh
fixed.
car and just takes
ready
off.
to go again.
Oh. Well done, boys.
Unfortunately, it's a third pit stop. He had already taken his second stop tonight. So that's now an overextension of him in this race, unfortunately. As James Baldwin looks chase down the pack again. Mario Riali's got off the road. Oh, and in the background, who was that? Who's that? That's Andrew Lister. Andrew Lister has gone off the road as well. So 2 cars have now gone off, and about 3 cars in the span of a few laps. Oh, Viger! Rick Viger as well! They're all catching the greasy part of the track, and they're all parked up waiting for their opportunity to come back. And the Raiders Hennessy nearly loses it through the corner as well. Somehow he caught it. I don't know how he did, but somehow he kept that car going. Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, this is edge of the seat stuff. Kakashi in pit lane.
He is in pit lane. So he took a 40-second stop this time by. Very extended stop has brought him out behind James Baldwin. Crucially, he is out ahead of Stuart Hall. So for Kokoschki, he currently is gaining points on Stuart Hall in this race. Although actually, no, he didn't even stop then. He just drove straight through.
Oh.
He didn't stop. He just drove straight through pit lane.
Yeah, drive through.
He must have had a drive through. So that is really going to hurt him now. So I think it was for incidents. I think he had a 17X. Yeah, that wasn't his stop.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Well, Andy's going to hurt him.
So he has had to drive through pit lane for a 17X. A massive blunder and mistake for Kokoschki, which is really going to hurt him. Abel Verben at the moment as well is just ahead of Stuart Hall. He's also trying to ride the lightning here. Henry Lister mentioned 3 of them spun at turn 6. Unbelievable. Can't spun down there. You're in pit lane now, Brett, as well. Yeah. Abel Verben does say 2 stops, but I believe he needs another one in this race to get this car home. So
yeah, because he changed tyres. He just changed tyres, didn't he? Kokoschki pit lane again.
He had a 58-second stop, which very weird. I don't know why, but yeah, Kokoschki's now in. So he will come in for his stop to get him home in this race. This is going to be a very interesting end of this race now. So Hedersheed is now 26 seconds ahead of Chris Blanchard. Unchallenged at the moment, but definitely had a scare through turn 6 where he got the rear end right out sideways. Super, super loose. Mad Mike style. And he's just trying to hang on to this Mustang. He has got to hold on to it for the next 25 and a half. No, did the maths correctly, Hamish. For the next 35 and a half laps.
Gully getting past Mahoney a few moments ago as well. So he's
Oh,
up
Todd Duggan!
28
Todd
spots.
Duggan
Oh,
has just gone off. Another car off at turn 6. Oh, and it's an unbelievable shame that it's
I think there's
Todd.
a bit of oil down there or something like that, or they're just clipping that ripple.
I don't think it's oil. I think they're clipping the ripple strip. There's Matt Skulls coming through. You see, he's actually avoided it, but they've got to be careful on that entry. You've got to be careful on these curbs because that's what's catching drivers out is the curbs.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to sit here for a moment just to watch if anyone's actually going to hit
what
it.
happens, yeah.
Because it's really becoming a danger zone now.
Starting to see a lot more spray. Oh, a little
Managed
wiggle
to hold it
there.
up.
Starting to see a lot more spray on coming off these cars now. So probably the track state starting to get a bit wetter.
Oh,
But
apparently.
those curbs are getting...
So apparently the 77, which I think this might be I think it might be Verben in the 7. Oh no, McCune apparently actually the 77. His first stop he only took wets, no fuel. But he's had a 31-second stop. He would have to have fuel. He has to have fuel at 31 seconds, so there's no way. I'm confused. I don't even know who that's referencing now. Because it can't be McCune. His first stop is
Clifton and
30 odd
Mulford,
seconds.
side
Here
by
we go.
side.
Clifton and Tim Mulford fighting away as they push on out of the final turn. And this battle train and battle pack continues to fire up now. Clifton trying to get a bit of clean air so he can view turn number 1 and find his braking zone. Let's right on board with him and see the sort of spray that is coming off these cars. What about up the hill? There you see the shiny stuff on the road. And the slight cloud you see starting to form below it is the spray that's coming off the wheels. And there you see Mulford actually moves over.
Oh,
so I think he got a very
good
poor
drive.
run. I think Mulford might actually have a slowdown because Clifton's getting past him. Although, he's looking to hang on to it. He's looking to hang on to it down the straight.
As well.
Who's going to get it in towards the entry of turn 6? Mulford's ahead! Mulford ahead! And hangs on to it ahead of Clifton as well.
Wow.
Unbelievable racing.
Yeah, in these conditions, that's fantastic. Boardman having a crack at Favero in the background there.
So to confirm as well for the 70, it was actually the 70 that was confirmed for, took wets on its first stop, no fuel. So they still have fuel to give back. They have to get fuel back again later in the race. Oh, Darren Goosey, Mario Reali, and a few more cars have been off down at turn 6. So again, continues to claim victims here tonight as Reali tries to keep himself going. Unfortunately, Joe Mahoney's at the pub. Great to have you back this week, Joe. I hope you enjoy watching it tomorrow. As Ernie Toth just running across turn 13.
I'll tell you what, it's biting everyone that, or not that corner, but Ernie Toth straight in the pits.
He's been off, and I think he knows that he's got time he has to give up anyway. He might as well come in and take the pit stop as well. As Chad Weiger now has had a moment, and he's actually gone round at the second to last corner. So once again, just absolute warfare in this race. More and more cars getting involved and getting caught up in it.
Oh, big wiggle out of that kink of 13 there for, I can't remember who it was. Clark. I got there. Unbelievable. There was about 2 or 3 sections on the track that got really, really slick, and it was on 2 and 3, heading into 2. That was really, really slick. Getting down to Dandenong, that was a very interesting corner at some points. These guys still battling at it. Mulford holding off Clifton at this stage.
And I mean, what a fight between them. You know, it's been an unbelievable fight to this stage, and one that you got to be able to keep an eye on as best you can. But an unbelievable race to this point between them all. As
he gets up alongside.
Clifton is finally going to get
do it this
past.
time?
Mulford's had to give it up. He'll tuck back in ahead of Boardman. And now the fight continues. This time, though, Mick Clifton is the captain at the head of this ship, riding the 7 seas of Sandown. Have you got the call to Max? Thank you. Have you got the call to maintain the position, or are the possible Springvale Pirates going to take over and kick you off your ship? Springvale Pirates being the grass or the curbs, whichever you pick.
No, you had to explain it, so
Well, it didn't work out.
Move on. Well, there's a bit of a move in the background there for Boardman, trying to have a little bit of a look on Mulford. Can't get it done. Favero in the background of Boardman. Oh, Boardman, little look. Bit of sunlight coming out there. Still rain coming down, though. Boardman, can he get a good exit?
You see Mulford, plenty of spray coming off the back of this car. Can Boardman get the run that he needs in towards turn number 6? He has to back out of it for the moment and slow it up. And then tiptoe it down the hill. Bit of a wide run. Gets it pulled up.
He got it done.
Unbelievable.
Car coming down this part of the
Unbelievable
track.
racing. And there's still 30 laps to go.
Oh,
it's incredible.
Goodness.
And again, we know that Boardman and Clifton are the two that have got the reasonable amount of advantage over Mulford and Favero, who are in this battle with them at the moment. As off the road, Brett Fisher has just gone across turn 2. What happened there, Brett? Did you see a weed you had to cut, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think I had a tiny lock up, and I just knew that if I tried to turn the car, I thought I'll just let it go straight, and it was just a little excursion.
Driving very, very well to the stage of the race. I'm just trying to hang on to your race at this point in time.
Yeah, and I was I wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't attack the track as hard as probably what I should have. So a bit nonchalant of my efforts thus far. Obviously making a couple of mistakes, but am I in front of? Oh no, Brett Taylor's in front of me at the moment, so that's not even something I can talk about.
What we can talk about is Andrew Listener, who's a cork in the bottle at the moment on Abel Verban, Stuart Hall and Scott McKenzie. And both of these guys need their second stop. McKenzie and Hall, they're good to get home. So they want these two to get out of the way and let them through, because they're not of a strategy that actually means they're racing them for position. But they've got their own race to race for, of course, and they've got their own goals and expectations to come at the end of this season.
It's a brave move by Verban there, going on the other side of that yellow line. Although no puddles are forming on the track.
We've had confirmation as well from Andrew Rushworth in chat. Thank you for confirming for us, Rushy, too. So that car of Verban pitted on lap 30 to put tyres on. Didn't tick the fuel, though. So only took their wets. The next stop, they then took fuel, but they didn't take enough to actually get them. They just didn't fill the tank. So that's why it needs another stop to get this car home, which I thought it was a bit weird that it was actually up the order from positions where it was earlier. That explains why, is because, it needs that third stop, unfortunately, for it to get home in this race.
Seeing a few cars in the top end of this field at the moment, cracking into the 17s.
Oh, Darren Goosey again off the road at turn 9. It's a hard season, and you got to feel for Darren. I mean, over 250 race starts, the most tenured driver in V8 Veterans, quite possibly having one of the most unluckiest seasons we've ever seen from him, as Brett Taylor has gone round
Brett Taylor
at turn 9. But yeah, it is heartbreaking to see Darren Goosey have such an unfortunate run after the highs that he's
Boardman
experienced
getting past
previously, as Clark, has run wide at turn 9 as well. So the danger zone has now moved from turn 6 down to turn 9 very, very quickly. And as you mentioned, Boardman has finally offset Mulford, who's now under pressure from Favero, entering turn 6.
54 of 81 here at Sandown in the wet. Mahoney in pits.
Now Favero is trying to fight this car forward and get it up and inside the top 10, but he does need that second crucial stop here tonight. The two cars ahead of them, Boardman and Clifton, are on for a top 5 at the moment. Is there a podium on offer for Clifton, who started P10 on the day, or even better for Boardman, who started P17 on the day? This could be an unbelievable achievement for either of them.
Yep.
One of which, or both of them of which, have already won Driver of the Day this season. Boardman, of course, winning it back at Bathurst in round 1, and Clifton winning it, I believe, back in round 3 at Tailem Bend. So neither of them can win it again. Header Sheet, our race leader at the moment, can't win it again. This is to the point of the season where we're now looking for the next best thing of who could be Driver of the Day. At the moment, though, looking at the numbers and looking at who could be where, Andrew Galley is the front runner at this stage, up 29 positions, and should be inside of the top 10 after this next pit stop.
Well, that is a cracking effort.
Unbelievable.
Just clocking up 30 places gained as he crossed the start-finishing line that time.
An unbelievable
Peter
effort.
Street still out in front there. So the cars, we've got a number of cars, well, the top 8 still have to do their second stop. Seeing Roy Clark.
Well, Burns is in now to do his.
Oh, Burns is in pit.
So this will actually give us a good indication of where he actually ends up, because I believe he should be
Rain stopped there
behind.
for a second.
It's pitter-pattering around. He should be behind Hall and Mackenzie. He's exiting the lane now. So there he is right there, but of course they're at pace, so they'll come past him towards turn 1. Oh, he moved all the way over.
Whoa!
That was very aggressive, but I think he did that just to get out of their way, knowing that they were coming. But a split second later, and that would have been a hellacious incident down towards turn 1.
It would have been huge.
That was so close.
Yeah.
So Listener now continues with this battle. They've got Viger Mahoney ahead of them as well. Closest battle inside the top 10 is this one between Roy Clark and Andrew Galley. Clark, who's up 6 into the top 10, and Andrew Galley, who's up 30 into the top 10 in what is looking to be a phenomenal race result for both parties.
Interesting to see when they've done their stops where it all lies, so we can sort of get a grasp of how this race is going to come to a conclusion with the. What am I trying to say, Hamish?
I don't know. I thought you were actually going to say the word Kukoshki, but you just mispronounced it, possibly.
No. Conclusion.
Well,
I was going to say, yeah. Once these other
once
drivers
these next pit
see,
stops
they'll get
have
together
happened,
and
once the next stops have happened, that's when we're going to obviously get the real
Field's
determination
normalised.
of where the field is. Right now, corrected order should be Heddersheed ahead of, and I've got to see where Clifton is in comparison to Blanchard. It should be Heddersheed ahead of Blanchard, ahead of Clifton, ahead of Boardman. P5 back, I think, should be Monday and possibly Chad Viger. Stuart Hall, Mackenzie, Burns, those guys are going to be around the top 10. As in the pit lane comes Andrew Galley now. So this is a very crucial stop for Andrew to finish out this strategy that he's played in this race. His pit out projected position at the moment is P12 behind Nathan Favero, but crucially ahead of Joe Mahoney. So he has pulled an absolute strategic masterclass as he'll exit pit lane. Joe Mahoney is looking to come past. Where is he going to be in comparison to Andrew Galley? He's gotten him, but Galley's going to come out and tuck him behind Rick Viger. So an unbelievable differential. That means actually that Blanchard is going to be under pressure from Mick Clifton if Mick can gain about 3 more seconds before Blanchard's next stop.
58 of 81. Sandown.
And again, you might be thinking, oh, what sort of benefit are those who haven't pitted yet? Are they going to have a tyre benefit to the end of this race? I guarantee you they're not even going to change tyres. They're not going to change tyres. There's no point. The wet tyres last so long that you actually hurt yourself by taking new tyres because they're cold. Cold wets are worse than cold dries.
Sketchy as.
They're so sketchy. They take so long to heat up. You are better off just sitting on the warm wets, the warm old wets. So Clark and Weston, even though they've gone up on the jacks, they won't be taking tyres. Favero shouldn't take tyres either because you're not going to get a grip advantage. So they come into the box. Heddersheed's in as well. Final pit stop for the race leader. He should exit pit lane in the projected race lead because Blanchard will pass him if he stays out, but he's not going to maintain that race lead by any means necessary. So this is, he's also still carrying the damage, by the way. He didn't clear the last 10 seconds until his second stop, so he actually starts to clear that damage. He is going to keep going. He is going to surpass Simon Heddersheed, who are still waiting to exit pit lane. Matt Monday's also going to come past. He'll get past Heddersheed. So will Viger. But will Tony Chapman pass him? Because Heddersheed's just exiting now. There goes Viger. There is Tony Chapman way too far back. So Heddersheed will maintain top 4. And he is the corrected race leader. And right now, Brett, he is 23 laps away from an all-time dominant race win here at Sandown.
Yeah, he's just got to hold it together. So you can see the puddle starting to form now too. Oh, no, that's all right.
Also,
oh no, he did run a bit wide.
Yeah, he ran a little bit wide.
Chapman in pits.
Apparently Heddersheed actually took tyres. Interesting call, which I think was why I was actually so sketched through turn 2 and 3.
Yeah.
On those cold wets. Nathan Ferrer saying I took tyres, never considered keeping the used wets on. It's something to consider, I promise you. Warm wet tyres will benefit you a lot compared to cold wets. Tony Chapman has taken a fresh set of tyres as well. 2 fast press. Oh, and you see there coming out of pit lane, it's really loose. Really loose.
We're just talking about that. The ice that is a cold wet fresh tyre. Matty Monday in pits.
And actually, I'm wondering, can we get a shot? Because I just want to double check how they were actually reacting. I want to see if they're wets or if they're dries. Oh, the camera's not far enough back. I can't tell, but I believe they're wets. They should be wets. There's no way you're taking dries. We did have 2 fast repairs on the night as well, obviously. Tony Chapman saying it costs so many shots. That's right. I mean, it's, as I said, it's, used wets much better for you in these wet races. Matt Monday is into pit lane. Jeremy Bush is going to come in as well as he rides up the pit road.
He's only got Blanchard and Viger to... and Rick Viger.
Well, technically you were all right. Jeremy Bush in pit lane. He's now exiting pit lane. And will now look to enter the circuit. Once again, he'll look to enter in behind Stephen Kokoschki. Oh, and he's gotten it loose. Oh, wait a minute. That thing's on dries. Did you see how that thing snapped on the painted line, Brett? That is on dry tyres.
Yeah.
He hasn't changed look, it's not even pull it up.
He's going straight.
Yeah, no. It is on dries. He has not changed the compound for the stop. off of what he already had set. That thing is going to have to come back down pit lane. And ultimately, this car, unfortunately for Jeremy, this car is actually going to be a danger now for anyone that's coming up behind him, because he's going to have no grip whatsoever. And those cars that are chasing him down, I believe it's Brett Taylor, Nathan Favero it is, as Andy Toth comes into pit lane now. Bush is going to have no grip, and he needs to try and pull it up as best he can.
Well, he did all right. I thought he broke a little bit late then, but he probably wasn't going as fast as I thought he was either.
Andrew Liston's waiting for a second stop to go back on the slicks. Important to check the radar, Andrew. The actual radar for the session would have told you that the rain would not be ending prior to the end of the race, unfortunately. So he's actually going to keep
Bush
pushing
not going
on.
in.
He's not. I don't think he. Does he even realise he's on slicks?
Maybe he thinks they were just cold wets.
Maybe.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh, Tony Chapman as well also left his pedal at 6 too, so that didn't help him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to keep an eye on Jeremy. I
on.
want to watch the action, but I'm trying to keep an eye on Jeremy to make sure he actually comes into pit lane, because this car could be a danger as it's getting so loose through turn 2 and 3. Favero's going to come past him.
Yeah, lucky.
And another reason why we've got to watch this too, the corrected race leader's right behind him as well in Simon Hedersheed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is, that car is not in a good position and needs to pit again for wet tyres. So, hopefully he comes in this time. Hopefully he's realised that he's on slicks and not on wets, because he's only one small mistake from it absolutely firing out of his way as he locks it up again. Yeah, no, it's
got it pulled up though.
He got it pulled up, but really struggling as Toth got a bit loose. Oh no, it was actually you, Brett, that got loose then. Stop riding the rears, Brett. Come on. Chad Weiger's now into pit lane, by the way, as well. So he comes in. His final stop of the race. Bush has still stayed out, by the way. He hasn't come in.
Oh, wow.
But you see there, just no grip. I mean, you've gotten right past him. Ernie won't be too far away from getting right past him as well. I mean, the thing is just, it's not healthy at the moment for those tyres. So Chad Weiger will look to exit pit lane now. Chris Blanchard is the final car at the top end of town that needs to pit. We're awaiting Rick Weiger's pit stop as well. Oh, Bush. Oh, no. Jeremy Bush has gone off at turn 2.
Oh. Yeah,
and
that's hard.
Not too surprising based on how that car was reacting and based on how those dry tyres were reacting as well. Oh, can we get a better shot of those tyres?
Oh, that's crabbing.
Yep, he's on slicks.
Crabbing.
They are slicks. Oh, that is a real shame for Jeremy Bush. Oh, Simon Hedersheed has had a minor, I think he actually had a minor half spin, then he's got a crash notification for Hedersheed, but he's still rolling, so I think he might have had a half spin at turn 9. But yeah, Bush is just trying to get this thing back to pit lane, but this is a wild moment now for everyone around him. There goes Andrew Galley, who corrected order should be inside of the top 10. Once Rick Weiger comes in to do his final stop, and what a race it will be for Andrew Galley when that happens. 26 positions gained with what should be roughly 17 laps to go in an almighty effort tonight. And what could be driver of the day performance for Andrew Galley, it must be said. We're just waiting on Rick Weiger to come into pit lane. Oh, Bush is still going slow.
Oh.
He hadn't even made it through turn 6 yet. Yeah, he's got to get it in and get it stopped. So Weiger now under pressure from Monday. They've dropped position to James Boardman, who's actually now gotten past Mick Clifton, by the way. So Boardman is now corrected order P3. So Boardman is onto the podium up 14. Blanchard is finally in. And think about the strategy for Boardman and Clifton tonight, Brett. Both of them have strategized their way up the order. Boardman strategized his way up 14 into P3. Clifton did it up 6 into P4 in an unbelievable result. And then you look further back, Viger up 12 from his strategy. Galley's going to be up 26 from his, and it's unbelievable.
In these conditions and the race that it has been, it's huge effort from some of these drivers. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, Jeremy Bush is still parked up on the side of the road, by the way. He's waiting to get into pit lane. As Mulford's had to come in to commit to his final stop of the race. Blanchard has now exited. So all of a sudden, it is corrected. And we know who's in contention. 17.6 seconds is the gap between Hennessy and Blanchard. It would take Chris Blanchard to outpace Simon Hennessy by 1 second a lap, and he still wouldn't pass him. He has to outlap him by more than a second every single lap, hope for a safety car, or hope that Hennessy makes a mistake. Those are the three choices for Blanchard. And with Boardman hot on his tail, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
And mistakes can happen. I mean, conditions really haven't changed all that much. I think the track is sort of normalised a little bit. It's not as slick as what it was. It's still not probably in the ultimate sort of condition for a wet race on these wet tyres, but we're going to still be in for a great fight to the end. Lap at 66 of 81. See the puddles around the track now, lying in wait for those drivers who are going to go over and get a bit sideways.
Was an unbelievable strategy play for those that have gotten themselves up the order today. As we mentioned here,
Stuart Hall.
Thus far, I mean, Stuart
Abel
Hall. Well, we know that
Verben did a 17-1.
Well, we know that also
lap around.
Verben as well needs to pit again in this race. Remember, he doesn't have enough fuel.
Yeah.
So,
but Stuart Hall doing a flat nearly that time around. Same as Kikoshi, almost a 17 flat.
So there's pace in those cars.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job thus far to race around. And really, for Hennessy tonight, he has really just gone away and said one thing. He went off the start line, made it through turn one, and just responded with the words, "Now watch this drive." And really, this has been the drive of a century. Unbelievable. 15 laps to go. 15 laps to survive the pools of water around this Sandown circuit and the unbelievable pressure that's on the shoulders of the Kiwi at the moment to get back to winning ways is unbelievable. As Jeremy Bush has finally come out of pit lane on wet tyres again, by the way, he's unfortunately run it wide down at turn one, so he'll try and keep himself going again. Verben is finally into pit lane for that final stop. So Stuart Hall has now been released to chase down Andrew Lister, who we're also waiting to come into pit lane. Now, Lister's waiting for the rain to clear up right and to be able to go back on slicks. And I think this is maybe an important thing to mention here as well, Brett, and one thing to actually speak about. So, because the rain's been so heavy and the track was declared wet, because of the length that the race had left, right, so let's say we've got less than 20 laps, right, it's never going to dry out now. You're never going to have it takes 2 hours for the track to dry without anyone driving on it. It's never going to dry out. If you were doing a full Sandown 500 and it stopped racing right now, the track probably wouldn't dry out till about lap 110. Yep. It would take that long. So in future, one thing to remember is you're never guaranteed the track's actually going to dry out. Sometimes it's better just to play the safe game in a wet race of maintain your fuel strategy more so than your tyre strategy. Because that's going to be a keen thing to think about. As Mackenzie is on the inside of Hall here, battling away with the championship leader. This is the battle for corrected P10 in the order. As we're just awaiting Listener and Rick Viger to come in pit road. So those two cars need to come in. Burns got a great run, but he's backed out of it smartly, knowing that he'd have to be offline on the wet stuff. But this has truly been an amazing race.
Actually battling hard behind these two, this lot as well.
I tell you what a comeback for Matt Scholes, by the way. He was a lap down at one point after going off the track at turn 2. What a comeback. There's a reason why Matt Scholes is a former 2-time champion, and he's proving it right now. What a comeback drive as Mahoney has a wide run down at turn 9, keeps himself going, but unbelievable effort from the former 2-time champion.
Yeah.
It's Mackenzie
Clark getting past Monday.
Yeah, and Mackenzie getting past Hall finalises that move. Burns and Scholes trying to work together to chase them down. And I do want to preface as well is I'm not trying to talk down on Andrew Lister. Oh, he's listening to my advice. I should come straight in pit lane. I'm not trying to talk down on Andrew Lister's strategy, mind you, of waiting for the dry. I'm trying to point out that realistically, because of how heavy the rain's been and how long it's been raining, it was never going to dry out. It takes so long. It seriously takes so long for it to happen. So you can try to play that game. I mean, it happened at Fuji, but Fuji rained a bit. It didn't rain nearly as heavy as what it has now, as that's a car off in the background. That's Tony Chapman at turn 1.
Yeah.
Just trying to get himself going again. But yeah, it's very rare.
And I think the thing is too, look, you see how much water was picked up there by Tony's car there.
Yeah.
And I think there's still a little bit of disparity in the vision that you see as a driver and what the actual track conditions are, because it looks like there's a dry line on that track, even though the spray was sort of subdued a little bit there. There's still other sections of the track that were still quite wet. So, how long would it have been?
Well, that's right.
For that dry line.
And smartly as well, Andrew has kept his used wets on the car.
Yeah.
So, again, that's another strategy you can pull as well. If you want to try and offset your fuel weirdly, for whatever reason, you could fill up on your first stop, take your tyres, and then to get your second CPS done, you just take a litre if you're not going to take another set of wets. You can do it that way. That is a much more risky way of doing it, though, I will say. Brett, that is a much more risky way. That is a playing for a safety car way of doing it. I think it's actually better to have the lighter car and playing for possible fresh tyres later, but that's just me. Not that I would take the fresh wets, but you're opening the door to possibly taking them.
So Heddersheed 19 seconds out on Blanchard at the moment. Boardman only half a second off the back of Blanchard. And we've got a bit of a gap for Clifton, Mahoney, Viger, Chad, Clark, Monday, Andrew Gully into 9th spot at the moment. Rick Viger into the top 10. So both Viger boys, brothers, into the top 10 at the moment. Although I think still Rick has only he's got another stop to complete.
He does indeed. Rick Viger still to come down pit lane. It will promote Scott McKenzie into the top 10 and Stuart Hall up into P11 as well. So right now there is there will be 7 positions separating as Viger comes into pit lane. Hall and Clifton. There is 14 points separating them at the moment here, Brett. Which means for Hall, he will lead Mick Clifton out of this race by 8 points into Adelaide. Right now, he's also leading Kokoschki by a further... if Kokoschki gets this move done, it's going to be 4 spots, but he's got to get it finished. Up and through turn 2, he got the racing line that he wanted, and he got the job done. So now, there's only 4 positions.
Is it not done yet? Can he get the car out?
He's far enough ahead.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Callaghan's nowhere near close enough.
But even there, look at the attitude of the car. The car was sideways for a long period of time. Can he come back? Can he come back at him? Does he get the run on him here?
He's trying to.
He's backed out of it. He's backed out of it.
The point that I want to make is 4 positions. That's 8 points. So now Kokoschki is going to be 23 points adrift of Stuart Hall, although he would have gotten a bonus point for pole position. So let's take a point off that. 22 points ahead of Stuart Hall, or behind Stuart Hall. So really, Kokoschki and Clifton are swapping positions in the championship standings going into Adelaide next week if it were to remain as it is.
Has been a great drive from Kokoschki tonight, considering where he was and where he is now, you know, into 15th spot after that, you know, yeah, wild first lap.
Wade Reynolds just letting Tim Mulford past, not wanting to openly contest too hard here to this point in time. Blanchard is still feeling the pressure from Boardman. There is 9 laps to go here at Sandown. Hedishi leads the way by 20.3 seconds, but it's the battle of the Chevrolets for P2 that the eyes go towards. For Blanchard and for Boardman, this looks to be their magnum opus to the season's end. An unbelievable battle that we're going to be able to watch right in front of our eyes for P2 at Sandown, with water and wetness and moisture being a main character in the narrative.
Yes, it's very moist out there.
It's very, very moist. You are correct. Some may say it is moister than an oyster, but there's no oysters here because there's no water on the shorefront near Sandown. As much as it has sand in the name.
Out.
Would you believe,
Popping
Brett,
out just
that
to have
Sandown is not at a beach?
Yeah, I know. It's funny that, isn't it?
No, no.
Well, isn't it funny that you know, cargo ships have cargo, and cars have shipment?
They do. They do indeed. It's very interesting as Boardman continues to wrestle this thing through the final few corners, tries to put the pressure on Blanchard and the pressure on the throttle pedal as well as they ride down the main straight past the members area of the circuit.
Past Western.
And I tell you what, this is a very loud and active main straight. You sit past this on, or you sit by this on race day, and you feel and hear them coming from one end to the other. Yeah. It's an unbelievable experience. And
I've been here at Sandown watching cars come into that first turn, and that is just an absolute magic spot to watch the cars, the attitude on the cars.
Even whether it's supercars or whether it's lower tiers of cars through State Series racing, it is fantastic viewing here at Sandown. And if you position yourself on the gantry right at the top, you can see pretty much the whole circuit from that one spot. It is fantastic.
I remember watching, I don't know what year it is, but the Commodore Cup, I think it was a Sandown weekend. Oh, Boardman! No, he's got it. He's got it. Yeah, the Commodore Cup and those racing down to turn 1, and it was sensational watching the cars through there.
I've been here a few times back in the mid-2000s, the midst of the beginning of the Triple 8 era in the Fords, roughly 2005. Came here back in 2019. Came here last year as well for both for the Sandown 500 the year before I came here for State Series action back in August. It is an unbelievable venue and one that I always enjoy coming to, and I plan to try and come here for the 500 this year.
Western just dropping another spot to Callaghan. Boardman just losing the contact off the back of Blanchard there. So the momentum has just been taken out of Boardman's sails just for a second. Here we have a look at Western being under attack from Callaghan. Sketchy in the wet, big puddles, but does he get it pulled up?
Trying to go for the switch back to the inside. Goes Scott Weston. Can't quite get the job done just yet. Chapman's now all over them as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kokoschki. I think Kokoschki made a mistake. He's dropped massive time and is now back in the clutches of Callaghan again with what'll be 5 laps to go when they cross the line.
'76 of 81 here at Sandown in the wet, in the moist. Oh, big splash there. Would that have been an off track there for Kokoschki?
I don't know if it's worth a slowdown.
No,
but
not
it's
quite.
maybe worth a
one thing
wake-up
to
call.
think about, though. Yeah, definitely, because it was heading that way.
Matt Monday is now under pressure here from Andrew Galley
Galley.
for position as well. He's not quite close enough to finish the move. And Mick Clifton is now beginning to be put under pressure here by Joe Mahoney for P4. What a drive this would be for Joe to put this car up into a top 4 finish after what he's been through this season. Unfortunately losing his dad a few weeks ago, and he's returned to the series tonight after being away. What a way this could be for him to finish it out with a top 5 finish here tonight after an unbelievable qualifying.
No, he's driven a great race. Had some, like car was all beaten up for a bit there, but on the straight and narrow now. Boardman was out to about a second behind Blanchard, but now he brought that back to about half a second.
He's starting to chase him down. He's definitely got the pace over him. Does Boardman? Does he have the ability to get by?
Kofidis just got past Dave Arney. So Galley having a crack at Monday.
He's not quite close enough, though, to get by just yet. He's just hanging behind him because he can't go offline. Because you see how wet it is there to the inside. You'll just skate off the road.
Well, I think turn 12, he must have been nearly up beside him because he was only 0.04 off him. So he must have been just trying to sort of get the car positioned to actually have a crack.
Every time we come through turn 4 and I see the glisten of the water on the outside of the circuit, as Dave Arney's gone round down at turn 9. So that car, so I don't know how we haven't had a safety car today, Brett. We're not going to get one either because we're too close to the end. But the fact that we've gone green the whole time is an unbelievable statistic. Oh, Mick Clifton's gone round. Mick Clifton spun it down there. I reckon he caught the puddle. That's dropped him crucial spots down to, remember that position I named, P7. This is what his previous worst has been this season. As Arnie's still limping this car back, Mick Clifton all of a sudden is going to be matching his previous second worst amount of points. And right now is only gaining 4 spots of points over Stuart Hall. That is a crucial mistake in terms of the championship.
Hold it together, hold it together.
He's got to hang on, and next week at Adelaide, it's going to be big pressure. Because all of a sudden, he's going to have to finish. Well, it doesn't matter where he finishes. He'll always have P7 available to him. But Stuart Hall next week will have to beat P7 on the road to guarantee possible points gain over Mick Clifton. This is an unbelievable end of the season, though. And what an end we're coming into.
It has been a great race, actually. It's been a lot of action, a lot of things happen. And it's actually, like, there's some spots in here with, like, this battle here we were watching with Blanchard and Boardman having a great battle and have been going on for many, many laps. We've seen Monday and Galley battling it out. Mackenzie, Hall, Burns, and, Mackenzie and Hall close having a battle there. Callaghan, Weston and Chapman. So there's still a lot of little battles going on track in the closing stages. Oh, Boardman. Can he get that? He's trying. He's doing everything he can. Right up tucked underneath the wing. Can he get the exit? Blanchard looks like he got a good launch.
You see the spray coming off the back of it as well. And Boardman tucks right into it. It looks like one of the air tunnels, doesn't it? As the air floats off the back of this thing and into the pathway of the Camaro in behind. Boardman trying to line this up if he can. Blanchard just trying to hang on to it. To this point in time. He's trying to wheel it hard.
Danny Nong.
Yeah, he is trying to push it as hard as possible. Boardman, though, right to the outside of him.
On the outside.
Can he hang the inside of the next corner? He's right there. Blanchard leaves him plenty of room. Little bit of a door off the curb hop.
Yeah.
But they hang on for the moment. It is going to be 2 laps to go. Simon Hedesheed is up for the second to last lap. Blanchard will head back in front of Boardman. This has been an unbelievable race.
That was great.
And for Kokoschki, if he wants to get P13, he's going to have to clinch it out of the fingers. The fingers of a two-time champion in Matthew Scholes. He got a great drive.
Can he complete that drive? He's just starting to lose a bit of the pace out of there.
By. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, great effort.
Blanchard, though, is really, really cool under pressure right now. Hanging on to this thing and trying to fight forward. Header sheet, though, 1 lap to go. 3.1 kilometres. There's a massive snap at the final corner.
See that?
That would have woken him up.
Oh.
Because it'd be close to midnight in, actually past midnight at the moment in New Zealand for when this race would have happened. That could have ended it so prematurely. Yeah. He's got to survive.
That was facing towards the fence.
It was. He's got to survive 3 kilometres. Nathan Ferreira, by the way, Andrew Listener have had an off track down at turn 1. Somehow, though, they've kept it going to this point in time. But for Hedersheed, what a dominant performance tonight. Somehow he hung on to it. As Blanchard will begin his final lap. And for Boardman, he's got 1 chance left. 1 final lap to assault the 669 WKMP blacked out Camaro. Mustang, wow. Get your manufacturers right. In towards Dandenong Road, though, for the final time for the race leader. And what a race it's been. He nearly lost it again. Slid it out of the corner. He's pushing it hard for a person that's, for a guy that's leading the race by 22 seconds. You'd think he'd only be leading it by 5. Plenty of time, plenty of action. And what it is he is the time master tonight. 81 laps later, Simon Hennessy off the front row and in the wet. The Kiwi wins it at Sandown. What a performance to the race win.
Looks like coming down the line, Blanchard and Boardman. Can they hold it off? Can Blanchard hold off Boardman, or has Boardman got something for him in the last couple of corners? He does get a good launch.
He did indeed.
Is he going to get there? Oh, by .030. Wow.
How close do you want it?
That was close.
0.03 of a second. James Boardman finishes P3. Joe Mahoney comes home in P4. Galley's having a go, though, at Monday.
Yeah, nah.
Is he close enough? No, he's not. And what a drive for Andrew Galley. What a drive. Unbelievable effort from him. Unbelievable drive from a few others out there as well. We've got 4 names for you to go up for Driver of the Day. Chris Blanchard, Joe Mahoney, Roy Clark, Andrew Galley. Those are your choices in the poll. As Hedersheed will get us rolling once again. It has been an unbelievable race tonight. Unbelievable. And what we get to do is, prior to the end of the race, we get to have a quick chat to some of our drivers here tonight, which is fantastic as always. Let's get a little bit of B-roll happening here before we will head to the SIMRIGS post-race highlights very shortly. First of all, we've got a chat to our race winner after what was an unbelievable result and an unbelievable drive. It is a race win for the history book. Simon Hedersheed, welcome in. Simon, congratulations. What a race win in the most New Zealand of conditions that there ever could be. Just full wet at Sandown. You were in your absolute element today on Thursday. 21.6. That was the time between you and Blanchard to the end. You're hoping you can carry those 21 seconds into Adelaide next week and maybe get a bit of an advantage?
Yeah, perfect conditions, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a regular
So
Sunday
we-
drive,
two
isn't it?
perfect conditions.
That's
that
what we
second
race on
last
every
lap around.
weekend in New Zealand. So no, it was it was Adelaide. I love Adelaide, but I don't know that I'm that quick there, but I love it. That race was well, I didn't expect to be talking to you again. I say that every time, but to get a win, it's been a couple of seasons, but to be honest, I was trying to look back and see how long it is since I led on the first lap, and I think maybe Watkins Glen about 400 seasons ago.
Which I think was
So,
that also your last win as well? Was Watkins Glen on that same weekend?
No, I snuck that win in Silverstone.
That's
the last
right.
time I was
Yes, you did.
split two, but yeah. There was epic race at Watkins Glen. Sorry, I'm pissed. We've had a big day. I thought I blew up my car today. Me and my son went for a thrash in our Mazdas, and it didn't end well.
Nope.
But anyway, it's all good. It was it was a crazy race. Like Stephen just outbroke himself a little bit at the start. It sort of pushed me off. And looking at the replay, because it's the first time I've seen it, it's could have ended completely different, to be honest. I might have got taken out there as the car sort of flew off in all directions, but it worked out really well to lead and just be able to control your strategy, etc. I was very lucky this race, I think.
Do
just wanna ask
you
you-
think? Oh, sorry, you go ahead first, Brett, and then I'll.
No,
I'll
sorry.
ask
Yeah,
my question.
I just wanted to ask Simon. That second last lap, I think, when you snapped the car sideways, coming out of the front straight, did that wake you up a little bit?
Yeah, honestly, I did it quite a few times. I did some massive drifts at the end of the back straight. I think I did it about 4 times before I stopped doing it. You catch the inside curb there to try and get the car to turn in, but it was flicking the arse end around. And that woke me up a few times. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, the guys behind it was an awesome race. I hadn't seen that. That was from those 2 guys for second. That was epic. But to be honest, you're never resting in the wet. You got to be focused 100% the whole time, because one little snap, you can lose 20 seconds. Lose it on the grass and trying to get off the grass, it's all over. So you're never resting. But I love those conditions. It is challenging. And I have to practice. During practice, I was going as hard as I could, and I was 21st. That's how tight this series is. I think I was 4/10 off the leader, but 21st. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to be here talking to you guys tonight. But yeah, it just worked out.
I think that's amazing. I did mention it early before we started the race that the times, and I've done it a few times in this season. The times are so close. Like, it is just ridiculous how close this split is, and it's you can be fast, and you can still be, like you said, down the list. But yeah, I mean, congratulations, mate! What a top drive tonight on Thursday night. Well done, matey.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Brett. Yeah, it's really good to still be able to get a win. So it just gives you confidence you can still do it. But I know how people get confused with those dry lines, because it did look dry. Actually, I think the conditions were probably the best wet conditions we've had, because you could still see your brake markers. If it pushes over and it gets really wet, you can't see a thing, but you could still see your brake markers. And it was still super tricky to drive. So heaps of fun. I think everyone did an amazing job to have no safety cars, to be honest.
I think we're probably pretty lucky with some of the incidents that easily could have probably been safety car worthy if they'd hit the wall any harder than what they did. But I think it was a great race. Simon, obviously you drove a very, very great race as well. I just want to ask you finally, before we get to your shouts and stuff, do you think the damage that Chris was carrying and kind of being a bit of a bottleneck to those behind him, did that help you sort of build up that gap, do you think, in sort of that first half of the race, which probably gave you the race win in the end? Was because no one could really chase you down because they couldn't really match the 109s you were pulling when the maximum pace that Chris could pull with his damage was about a 10. So did that have a part to play, do you think?
Yeah, it was perfect. I was looking at every lap time, and you can fry your tyres in the dry. You can fry your tyres really quickly around this track, into the back straight, into the front straight, and out of Dandenong. If you gas it up, and I was just so gentle the whole time. I was just looking after it, just made sure I was faster than Chris and the other cars, and then of course, as soon as Stu pitted, I was watching his lap times, and I knew he'd be fast straight out of the box after that, but he had a long way to go. So I just kept managing, and I was quite quick at the end of the session. There's no dramas with at the end of the dry tyres stint. And I honestly didn't know that it was going to rain just before the end of the dry tyre stint. I thought I was going to go back onto dries, but yeah. I think I like that unpredictability with the weather. I mean, we thought it was going to rain in Phillip Island, and it never happened. And I still had a good result there, which was good. But I like that no one can really practice and know exactly what to do. It really throws
gives you real world conditions, really, doesn't it?
Cat amongst pigeons. Yeah, good fun.
Well, Simon, we appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming to have a chat to us as well. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys. Just looking at the broadcast, it just gets better and better. I like how you've got the chat, because I was watching on the TV. The chat pops up in the corner of the TV as well. That's bloody awesome. It just looks so good. The cars look really good. The quality's good. Your production's awesome. You guys are wicked. I love your little music intros. You do a stellar job, both of yous. Race control, yep, great job. And just vets all around. They do a fantastic job, of course.
We appreciate your time, Simon. We wish you the best of luck over the next few weeks. And I believe from last time we spoke to you, you can't race at Bathurst, can you? Is that correct?
Yeah, look, after Oran Park mess, it doesn't really matter anyway. But if that had gone differently, I might have been a bit upset about missing the last round. But yeah, no, I got surgery on the last round.
That's right.
And because of that, I'm getting plenty of practice. That's why I'm doing okay at the moment. So, a nice change.
Well, we wish you the best of luck for Adelaide next week.
Russ.
And we wish you the best of luck next season. Once again, here in Split 2. And hopefully you'll be able to get firing on all cylinders fairly early for next season as well. So we look forward to that. But thanks so much again, Simon. Congratulations on the race win. And best of luck next time out at Adelaide.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Well, one thing we have to do, time is getting on a little bit though, so we've got to try and speed it through a little bit. One thing I will say is though, we have got a driver of the day, and it has been decided. It was decided by the chat that it was someone who has gained an immense amount of positions here today who has taken home the Driver of the Day award. It is going the way of Andrew Galley of Shadow Racing after racing around, by the way, with COVID on race night. If it will please show me his driver. No, it's not going to show me his name. That's great. Fantastic. It is going to show him off track, though, apparently.
Yeah.
But Andrew Galley is the Driver of the Day award winner here today. Congratulations to Andrew after fighting through COVID and gaining 27 positions. What a phenomenal drive from last place to 9th place here out at Sandown. Unbelievable for Andrew. We probably don't have enough time for post-race highlights, unfortunately, this week because there's a lot of them. So what we may do is we may just run through the regular post-race stuff, and then we'll get into the song as well. Unfortunately, we probably don't have enough time for the highlights because it is 20 past 11 and time is getting on. Those things happen though. We didn't have the song last week, but we had the highlights. This week we're having the song, but not the highlights. So next week will be
happy
back
days
to your regular scheduled viewing of course, as well. Want to give a shout out, of course, to everyone that's joined us here this season and tonight too. We hope you enjoyed all the action out here at Sandown for round 8 of season 28 as well. The next time we're on your screens, we'll be racing out at Adelaide for the Adelaide Street Circuit in South Australia. 250k, 78 laps. Once again, you guys don't want to miss it. It is going to be an amazing, amazing time next time out on the road. It should be dry conditions on the streets of Adelaide, where the final droppable round of the season is got massive implications for our championship with Stuart Hall, Mick Clifton, and possibly Stephen Kokoschke looking to battle it out for championship glory when they head out to Mount Panorama in 2 weeks' time as well. Big shout out to the series sponsors, of course, SIMRIGS for becoming the title sponsor of the series this season, as well as Logitech G, Paramount Isuzu, Play One, SimGear, Project Fade, Streetwear, LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars with the Driver of the Day Award tonight. It went the way of Andrew Galley. Next time it could go to you. I've been Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside. This has been the SIMRIGS V8 Veterans Split 2 action of season 28. Round 8 out at Sandown. And until next time, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all so much for being here with us once again. And until next time, bye for now.
It's a Saturday night at Sandown, and the engines are warm and slow. 81 laps on the table, and the storm in the sky starts to glow. I missed Durham Park last Thursday. David Haynes took the call for me. Oh, won the night like a champion, clicked and climbed like a melody. Sing us a song of the Sandown store, where the rain fell hard mid-race. The drivers danced through the thunder and spray, chasing glory in that wild place. Sandown store, Sandown store. Stuart Hall leads the standards. Kokoschke's missed some round, but still in the fight. Clifton's rising steady, Mackenzie steady as rail. Galley fought hard at Orange, Vigor kept pushing through. Split twos full of fighters, every lap rise something new. Sing us a song of the Sandown store, where the rain fell hard mid-race. The drivers danced through the thunder and spray, chasing glory in that wild place. Sandown store, Sandown store. And the booth lights glow like a tavern, where stories are poured like wine. I'm back with Hamish beside me, calling battles line by line, line by line. The clouds rolled in at halfway, and the track turned slick and mean. Cars slid wide through turn 4 like the barroom floor at closing scene. But the veterans kept on fighting through the chaos and the roar. Sandown wrote its legend in the rain forevermore. So sing us a song of the Sandown store. Raise a glass to the brave and bold. Round 8 road to tell what's telling in the booth where the stories are told. Sandown store,
The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Hey guys, sorry about the lack of videos lately, but I've been really busy down in Melbourne with SIMRIGS. I've actually built our first rig in Melbourne. It's featuring our new ASR chassis. So basically it's an ASR Pro with a cubic QS210 motion system with a cubic BT1 belt tensioner. I've coupled it with an awesome set of LG ultra wides. What you've seen before, these are the new brackets that I've made for the cubic system to suit the ASR, and you notice it's really low to the ground. We got it really low to sort of match a real car, like a lot of motion systems sit quite high, and that's really annoying that you need steps to actually get in it. So now I've lowered it down, it's actually really low to the ground. And the awesome thing with cubic is when it sits, it actually sits down like a real lowrider, and it only raises when it comes back and starts moving. Also on this rig, we've got the fantastic SimCube active pedals. Not going to get a better pedal on the market. Couple that with the SimCube Coral. We've given it the whole Porsche livery and the Grid Racing by SimLabs Porsche wheel. So that just ties it all in together. So it's an awesome build. I really love these monitors because of the semicircle. You just look at, you're fully encapsulated. And being ultra wide, yes, they are a little bit narrow, but with the 45 inches, it is taller. It is, I think, about maybe 2 inches higher compared to a 32 monitor. The color that you get out of them is fantastic. Really nice and deep, good blacks, as any OLED should be. That's it, guys. We've got heaps more builds that we're doing at the moment. Our ASR containers arrived, so you'll be seeing them on our website as well. So, till next time.